Hi there, and happy to see you on our channel again. Today we bring you a piece of breaking news from a royal commentator. Finally, poor Prince Harry found the key to get out of Meghan Markle Endgame. Maybe Prince Harry, coming from a broken home, I believe he will not want that for Archie. It's rumored in the news that Prince Harry will head back to the UK to deal with his visa as it's been 6 months already. I too think that his visit will be key if he can speak to his family away from Meghan and discuss his options. If they can find a way for Prince Harry to take custody of Archie and leave the marriage, he may bite. I'm not sure, but I believe that he cannot be happy in a narcissistic relationship away from his family and country. He certainly does not look well in his photos. It may be very tricky with Meghan as she's very conniving and greedy. I believe she'll try to lure a large sum of money in the event of a divorce and even hold Archie hostage. Meghan will not go quietly. I'm confident of that. I'm also confident that the royal family has an excellent legal team that's equipped to deal with these situations. There would definitely need to be some kind of NDA signed, indicating if Meghan decides to go public and wage more war on the royal family, the settlement is null and void. Speaking from experience, narcs do not like to be discarded, as that's the ultimate slight. They're accustomed to doing the discarding when they have their next supply lined up, so Meghan would be irate and plotting her next war. I just have a feeling that Meghan is reaching the end game. She seems to be almost unhinged in her behavior in what she's been doing. Whether it's because things are going so badly for her and she's desperate, or whether it's something else, I don't know. But who in their right mind would pull her latest trick? Get their PR people to phone baby to baby to ask if they can go along. Then ask the charity for a plane to take them only 90 miles. And when that's not forthcoming, charter one. Who's paying if it's not the charity? Then take a photographer with them in spite of the fact that there are masses there at the event. And then the final insult, spend only 10 minutes at the charity, handing stuff into 2 cars? Sheer and utter madness. It makes them look really, really bad. And Meghan looks crazy. What are people going to think of them in Hollywood, in Santa Barbara or Montecito, and the expensive country club? Who's going to want to befriend them or even be seen in their company after this B2B debacle? She seems to be spinning out of control, a dangerous sign for a narcissist. Do you think if he puts his foot down with Meghan, especially before they were married, that she would have stayed in the relationship? My gut feeling is that he was so desperate to keep Meghan that he willingly allowed her to do everything reported. As for Archie, his life appears to be so private that only 2 or 3 people ever see him, and they're all adults. What kind of life is that for a child? It may be stable, but it certainly appears to be lacking. Harry will probably just come back to the UK when his visa runs out, do a few official visits to justify claiming security from the British taxpayer, and then return ASAP. He'll have to get used to the fact that he's lost his popularity, though. That might hurt a bit when no one turns up to his events. Another royal commentator also expressed this opinion. Do you think Prince Harry's reputation has suffered irreparable harm since Megxit? Yes, Prince Harry's reputation has suffered harm, and it can't be undone. Simply put, Harry has passed the point of no return. I said this months ago, but once that book of Meghan's, because she had to have written sizable amounts of it due to the phrasing and knowledge of the events written about in that book, Finding Freedom, Harry's future as a working royal was doomed. Once that book came out, it would be the nail in Harry's coffin. He can't return home crying about how he was deceived or blinded by lust or whatever he could choose to say about his time with Rachel Meghan. It's just too late now. Though the book didn't actually cover as much on Harry as I thought it would, which surprised me since he is the royal in the relationship, it did malign Catherine and William too. The book hated on Catherine quite a lot, actually. And though it may be Meghan's thoughts, Harry should have stopped that book for seeing the light of day. As to Harry, the book shows his utter devotion as bodyguard, a protector, and a follower of Meghan's. It still makes Harry complicit in bad-mouthing the royal family, most especially the two family members Harry was closest to, Prince William and Catherine, his wife. To see how cavalier Harry is regarding his family means he took lessons from Meghan and essentially ghosted his brother. Harry should not say bad things about the future king, and he certainly cannot remain mute after the book throws so much shade on the future king and queen. And yet, he continues to follow Meghan wherever she goes. Whatever she says, he says. He looks like an idiot more and more, and people are beginning to believe Harry really was acting all along. We thought Harry was funny, kind, loyal to his brother, and dutiful to the monarchy. Now he looks like he's mean, thoughtless, and unkind. And it's as if Meghan brought out the worst qualities, and that's what we see now. Maybe this is who Harry really is, and that's the problem. Which Prince Harry is the real one? Is he just going along with Meg's? Harry looks more complicit each passing day he holds hands with her. How can he drag himself home without begging forgiveness? And if he's learning tricks from his wife, well, Meghan doesn't do forgiveness. She just ghosts the person she wrongs and then marches on. I do see Prince Charles having too much compassion for the rogue royal. And his country seems quite upset with him for the amount of financial support he's providing. Because who else is giving this couple that kind of money? It's in the millions. Prince Charles is going to have problems due to his handling of this terrible situation. It looks like Harry and Meghan are doing everything possible to say a big up yours. Those aren't the words I would actually use. Prince Charles and Queen Elizabeth look weak right now because they aren't addressing Harry's perpetual circus with the salad-speaking, political, publicity-craving wife of his, whom he meekly follows. Harry has his father and perhaps his grandmother on his side, but he's lost the support and even love of the other royals, all other royals, and their citizens cry out for their titles to be revoked, yet nothing is done. This isn't good for Harry or the monarchy. Perhaps some in the royal family still love him, or who they all thought Harry was, but the rest of the royal family does not like this new Harry at all. And the day will arrive when Harry is kicked out of the lovely, sprawling mansion that has a mortgage taken out on it, because Harry and Meghan don't have the liquid cash to pay for the whole home. Harry will be out of time, out of luck, and then out on his own. Meghan ghosts every man in her life, even her father, who paid for all her private and then her out-of-state schooling. Meghan will find a better man, more suited to her status as a political speaker. She won't need to be the Duchess of Sussex then, so Harry will have to drag himself across the ocean to a country that now despises him. Well, they don't care about him, might be the kinder way of phrasing what the UK thinks and feels about this new and improved Harry. He's lost his charm. Prince Harry is not the funny, charming, easygoing, down-to-earth prince any longer. Now he's a money-grubbing, silly man doddering after his very American wife, who cannot seem to sever the bond between his hand and hers. That will happen soon enough, at Meghan's discretion. Harry will be reduced to living in the shadows of his former royal life. Even though Prince Charles will likely be king by then, who knows? I just don't think he will live long enough for Harry to refashion his image. By the time Prince William is in charge of the Duchy of Cornwall, the cash flow to Harry and his wife will end. By then, the couple had better be bringing in at least $50 million each per year to cover taxes and their cost of living that they chose, because they will not receive handouts from the man whose wife, Catherine, was maligned and hated, not just by Meghan, but by her murderous followers. William will remember and react. Harry shouldn't have crossed the line of congratulating the Twitter followers who wanted to kill William and Catherine, but he did. When William is king, he will have Prince George to worry about. And yes, George's wife, and then his other children. And Harry will be hidden away. Not important. Harry's feeling important now, and let him enjoy the feeling, because it won't last. And when it's his turn to stand in the shadows, at least his brother and Catherine won't be saying vile things about him. They'll show kindness to Harry, but the UK won't want Harry to be visible any longer. He'll be tucked away, and then brought out at Trooping the Colour perhaps, standing off to the far side. Harry could have had such a wonderful life if only he'd chosen a nicer wife. If only he'd stood up to Meghan's demands to move to California. If only Harry hadn't allowed this awful book to be published by Meghan's best friend. If only Harry had stayed in touch with the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. If only Harry hadn't asked for more money and then even more money from his father. If only Harry had acted like a prince. If only Harry had been more loyal to the monarchy than the wife that's using him. If only. The bad reality show that is now Harry's life will disintegrate into ashes. I don't see him becoming more than he is right now, and that's a sad sideshow to the real purpose Harry had in the confines of the royal family. Maybe Harry should stay in the US, even after he's ghosted by Meghan. Come on, she gets rid of everyone in her life, especially any man she uses, so it's going to happen. Harry could live someplace peaceful, in a nice trailer by a stream and go fishing. He could get the mail that will deliver on the latest news on King William and who Prince George is going to marry. Harry could do that, I think. How about you? What do you think of this royal commentary? Please let us know in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe to our channel for all the latest news on the royal family, Meghan Markle, and Prince Harry right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.